Hello everyone, Agion here, another Company Heroes 2 replay. Spawning on the top side as the British player, we have Gurad2707 and his allies, the Soviet player, DarkRegion. Spawn on the south side as the Austrian player, we have Farlion, and his ally, Sunny. Is it Farlion or Farloyan? Am I really... probably just stop. We do have a media doctrine lock-in, two media doctrine lock-ins of the Overwatch doctrine, as well as German infantry. Media MG42 into Grenadier, pretty standard. And for the Okadim player, just delayed Volks Grenadier. Yep, it's just slightly delayed. For the Brit, we have Vickers into infantry section, and we have, actually two combat engineers into penal. Something a bit unusual, to say the least. Section here, they could fall back to this light cover here. Actually decides to go inside this gauge building, in which all four windows can fire. So that is a great building for the infantry section. Over here, you got another squad of infantry section, and the Vickers is still far behind. Though there's actually a great engagement opportunity here with the Sturm Pioneers. While he probably won't win out versus the infantry section, he can at least force away the Vickers. Decides to go ahead and stop, get some great damage, and that's when he needs to retreat back. He's in danger of being wiped. Let's drop on the models now. The infantry section here should clean up the Sturm Pioneers no problem, but he's going to be way outgunned by all of these squads. Though the squad here can withstand quite a bit of beating, he is on the wrong side of the cover, and it's still actually engaging those Sturm Pioneers. Apparently you can fire through those hay bales. Let's retarget there. Sturm Pioneers making an advance, and that it was thanks to that great placement of the Sturm Pioneers, he managed to win that engagement quite handily, forcing a full withdrawal from the UKF player. Over here, you got the penals. Looks like they have like 5 out of his 6 rifles firing. And actually, look at that model right there. This model is literally shooting through the wall. That's a bit interesting. Hey, wait, this is actually a pretty common building. Does that happen all the time? No, that's like, I think, a little bit uncommon variant of the common building. And that is a flavor squad. We'll force him back. He's prone being wiped, but looks like the MG42 will withdraw. We're seeing too much damage from these penal squads. Vickers setting on up. Multiple infantry sections are here, so most of these Volks Grenadier will be forced back. This squad has not moved whatsoever. He only has 2 members anyway, so he needs to withdraw. I think he placed like sandbags there. Will that block the door? I don't think so. Not sure why that sandbags are there. That's a really odd placement of sandbags. Not gonna lie. Maybe he has... It could be a really good spot for all I know. Sturm Pioneers will not get shot up by the Grenadiers. I thought they were going to be a good hit there. And we actually do have the 55 caliber sniper. Let's get a nice little pick off, being forced back immediately. Soviet player needs to get back out there. He has medics now. Looks like he just finished upgrading them. His squads are super wounded, so he has to keep them back in order to get them healed. Intersection will be forcing back the Sturm Pioneers. That is a cutoff point, so stopping the capture is quite nice. .55 caliber sniper is hitting these squads quite successfully. Intersection here will do a soft retreat in probably in order to use the distribute medical supplies. Over here, we got a penal squad here. He could spot the squad, but there's a HMG here. I hear a half-track. It is the 250 half-track with a flamer squad. Let's see how the Soviet player likes being clown card. By something that's actually much more deadly, because this thing has a lot of armor.
Lines of supply are disrupted.
5 caliber sniper was spotted. We do have Royal Engineers here, so we do have a snare. Does pull back in time, preventing the snare. And we do also have a squad of Panzer Grenadiers out on the field.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us. Extra firepower is now available for units.
Great positioning by the Vickers. This sandbag not allowing them to all get in heavy cover, and so he will receive some suppression, but gets flanked and forcing back the retreat immediately. Jaeger Light Infantry are now out on the field. And a lot of these Grenadier squads are quite wounded. If this half-track gets up to 1-star veterancy, he has 4 reinforcements. Oh, he's going to lose that squad. He's going to lose that squad.
New units are ready to deploy.
And that's my phone.
Standing by.
I should have silenced it, wherever it may be. Panzer Grenadiers are at this point, field point, capturing it up. The MG does not get inside the building, but there is a flamer squad does pop out of the half track, and Paula should now do a retreat back to the unit. Folks Grenadier are on the flank, so you could use this opportunity to move forward with the MG42. We do have some AT rifles being brought out on these P&O squads as well. MG42 will have trouble suppressing the squad thanks to the heavy cover, but they're receiving a lot of damage and actually do get suppressed right now, and the Flamer squad will force them back. However, this Flamer squad will force back the MG42, though he does have a couple models to play of health. Half track is still not 1-star veterancy for reinforcements. Great hits there. The Pioneer squad will force back the combat engineers. Over here in the center of the map, we do have a bunker being set on up, or slit trench, for the Vickers. We'll almost entirely cover the point. We'll at least cover the sandbags. 55 caliber sniper will hit the Panzer Grenadiers. There's 2 squads of Panzer Grenadiers here, as well as some 5-man squads. The Panzer Grenadiers are actually being upgraded with these support packages, giving them the repair ability. Oh, looks like Rapid Grenade does impact focus firing the sandbags as well. Hitting his own sandbags. Panzer Grenadiers do hop inside this building, or the slit trench, and will be a great fighting position to engage that MG. So the Grenadier squad is forced them back very low in health, unable to do a soft retreat for the healing ability. But the Panzer Grenadiers here in such a great position, though they're getting quite wounded, does fall them back nice and early. Though he's still prone to being squad wiped, honestly. Does not even get another model. Focusing, he's going for focus fire the trench, outright trying to destroy it. And we do also have the commando doctrine being called on in. I think I heard some gliders. Yes, we do have gliders, as well as the commandos. Lots of brands coming on out, which could utilize them on the commandos as well. Or the PTRS squad, or not PTRS, Piet squad. Piet items.
Sappers, ready for orders.
Pioneer Squad only has 3 members, but most of its damage does come from the flamethrower itself, so lack of men is not a huge problem. So the combat engineers are forced back once again. We do got the Grenadiers here. They're engaged in the T-70. He's trying to go for a snare, but he has no AT whatsoever. So the snare's only thing that will keep back this T-70. Bundle grenade does come down on the Penal Squad. We do have the satchel charge. Does not actually retarget to the Pioneer. I thought that was going to actually sort of chase the Pioneer Squad, because that bug does happen quite a bit when you try to eject the units. Oh, Commando's going in for a nice stealthy little ambush, but doesn't push forward. So get another good hit by the 55 caliber sniper. Do got the sprint forward by the Jaeger Light Infantry, eyeing for that sniper himself, but does not get the kill. Those bombs are now available. Great hit by the Light, destroys the sandbags.
Our capture point.
And over here, and Light are being rushed down by the Penal Squad. Do we see any sort of AT gun or actually go immediately attacking up to tier 3. And let's see, fuel-wise, he has enough for a Panzer IV. He just needs some manpower. Go for Stug alternatively. And it looks like a satchel charge detonates that cache that was there. And we do also have a 6-pounder on the build queue for the UKF player. Let's go take a quick look at all the teching. We do have the Sheer Panzer Quarters and the Panzer Authorization has been researched. Very far back in the base, so no sort of chance that they'll go down randomly. Panzer IV out on the build queue. The UKF player has a huge reserve of fuel, but hasn't even teched up yet again. So, minus 120 fuel, or 115. So, even after fully teching up, he'll have just enough for a Centaur, probably, but it takes time to actually tech up itself. The like structure goes down entirely. Panzer IV now out on the field. Blue flags are here. A lot of indirect fire, which would be great versus all the single Vickers.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our territory.
Oh, Flamer Squad hit the Flamer Squad. Oh, but he got hit pretty hardly, and now we do got to retarget out onto him. Gets one more model, but the other one appears to be safe. Again, Warfare does engage the T-70 Panzer IV now out. I don't see any landmines. But there is some, at least, chance for satchel charges, as well as the Zis gun. The Zis gun does engage new Penal Squads here, which can overwhelm the Penal Squads. Oh. Mark Target has been activated, and was it activated on himself as well? Did he accidentally mark target his own unit? Or, I really don't know how that ability works. The only thing you see about the 5-man squad upgrades is the 5-man squads. You never see the Panzer Grenadier variant. So yeah, let's take a quick look. Once those squads get done retreating, let's take a quick look at that ability, because I really don't know much about it. Fire grenades does get thrown on out, but does do a nice dodge. Yeah, let's see. Mark target. Panzer Grenadiers will mark hostile infantry, making them more susceptible to incoming fire. The Panzer Grenadier will become more vulnerable to incoming fire during the ability's duration. So it's a double-edged sword ability. Our grenade does get thrown on out. Does get some nice damage. Panzer IV now moving on forward. Let's see a satchel charge, or maybe not. For some reason that seemed like a good time for a satchel charge to me. T-70 is still alive, does receive one shot there, so does the Panzer IV thanks to the nearby Zis gun. He is going to focus fire it. And nothing here to snare, but there is another Zis gun, but it doesn't have vision, just barely out of line of sight blocker. Ooh, a landmine, something was detonated right there. And also he wiped out that combat engineer squad entirely. He still has 3 penal squads, which is a lot of infantry, but it's just a lot of austere infantry. We do got the assault ability for the UKF player. A couple frags get thrown on out, but didn't appear to have done a whole lot of damage. No KW Panzer IV is now out, forcing back the commandos. Looks like that shot does not connect, and most likely the future shots will not connect whatsoever. We can hear both howitzers firing, so we know he has tech up. Do we see hammer and anvil? We do not, but we do see a firefly out on the build queue. For the Soviet player, we do see plenty of fuel. Structure has been built. No T-30. Oh, he'll get a KV-1 if he goes for a doctrine. Unlikely the KV-8, too much Panzer IV is already out. Or mechanized support tactics. So I would say either the ISU-152, which he still needs some more CP and fuel for that, or he can go for a KV-1 and potentially some B4s. Ooh, great hit. Both sides are firing. Oh, most of them are firing on this slip trench. As Grenadiers moving on forward, you got the 2 Grenadier squads here as well. The Soviet player could really benefit from the B4, something heavy in order to engage these really blobby style. Oh, main gun destroyed on the T-70. This one has been recruited, so he has 2 access to Zis guns, but getting just way overwhelmed. Does get 2 good penetrating hits. The penal squad could go ahead and stick behind that light cover, try to stop the capture, but it's not really necessary. Does decrew that weapon, does use the HE barrage on top of the Panzer Grenadiers. Next shot could be quite good, but did not. He has access to forward reinforcements thanks to this structure here. Will most likely decrew, no, does not decrew the AT gun. Panzer IV will limp on home. Looks like he ran into a landmine upon withdrawing, but he still has health. And not dead. 5-man squads of Pioneers are here, which means increased repair rate. Ooh, may see a couple wipes here. Does get a wipe there. He needs to retarget onto the Panzer Grenadier. Rolling some misses. Great hit there. The Panzer IV is almost dead, but unlikely it will go down unless there's some sort of dive. It's a very, very similar. Right now, the Axis players are a little behind. It has a cap against them. This Panzer Force has not been repaired, and the T-34 actually has enough health to actually kill off the Panzer IV if he knows it's there. Fuel, let's see. Has enough fuel for another Panzer IV. Enough fuel for something big now. Looks like ISU 152 is selected. We do see Battle Phase 3. Don't see any structure for any units. Brumbar could be quite good, but he already has plenty of infantry, so maybe not. Panther or Panzer Warfare, probably. Go for the OKW player. Could go for left 18s. Another Panzer IV would be good. If you want to see the ISU 152, mobility Panther would probably be the best item. We do also have a mortar pit. The two likes can engage him. He's currently barraging the Kennewerfer. Panzer IV now moving on forward. We do got the T-70 here. No cover for some of these penal squads. This area is quite bare of cover. And it looks like he decided to finish off that structure entirely. Well, it'd help prevent any sort of misclick. Or he saw that he could, so he did. Kennewerfer still doesn't have prioritized fire on, which is probably a good idea. Ooh, and Commandos do get a nice ambush right there. Ooh, this infantry section is very, very low in health. We need to make a withdrawal. You know, he can reinforce from this point, but needs some sort of medics. You got a pair of landmines here. They have been swept, but they can still be detonated by fire. Do we see a satchel charge here? We do in fact see a satchel charge, but he does do a nice dodge. Does destroy that structure. And the Panzer IV is actually focused force firing, but this stuff has been swept, but I don't think he actually sees this. It can be quite hard to actually see. Holy crap! Holy crap! That was a dead Panzer IV. It actually went down to an AT rifle of all things. Does wipe out a penal squad as well as the crew and AT gun. Oh, that landmine did manage to recloak and detonate. The Austria player is going to be lacking a significant amount of manpower. It's going to reinforce quite a bit. Does have a Panther on the build queue, which is a good idea versus the ISU 152. And actually do got a snag of the Vickers, but Gamma Bomb kills it off and decrews it immediately. It is potential for a squad wipe if he focus fires on the lower health guy. Is that mortar pit still alive? Nope, it probably went down to the Ligs. Two Ligs can rip apart a mortar pit quickly, especially if no brace was activated. He's actually still out and alive, and that's 3 stars of veterancy, so we can activate the reconnaissance mode in order just to spot everything for the ISU 152. You have enough munitions for a sector assault. That was, looks like it appears to be high explosive, but rolled a miss. Focus fire on the ground? Appears not. Big hit there, and that's a bad retreat path. That's a dead Pioneer squad. Anther is here. High explosive rounds still equipped. There is a guard squad here, so and we do have the button. Still no change in ammo type, so that Panther will not go down. You know, the Panzer Grenadiers will actually be forced back relatively soon, and that's a dead penal. Panther's still up and about. You guys, this here, Fireflies here. Don't see any rockets just yet. Guard squad is forced them back. No grenade. High explosive rounds are good. T-70 gets some more shots and upon retreat. Could potentially see another shot. Not, however. Panther now moving on forward. Will run straight into the Zis gun. A high explosive round does roll a bounce. Ooh, good hits there. And the Vigors will make a soft retreat to the glider.
Awaiting orders. Fueled and loaded. Panzer is ready.
A squad is for some back. We do have the MG-42 somewhere back here. And the ISU-152 is loading up high explosive. Gets great hit right there. And the tank immediately seeing the high explosive tank is moving to action. We do got some conscripts here ready for us. AT grenade. We do got a stealth Zis gun here. Multiple hits. This Zis gun is going to be overwhelmed. There is a T-70 here for some warding away. The combat engineers can also be used. And there goes a Volksgrenadier, sort of thrown away. Another assault over here. Volksgrenadier moving on forward. You got the Sturm Pioneers here. They could potentially go up and flank and gun down the Piets. We also have a squad of Oberstdotson. Frag grenade is thrown on out. Good frag. And it does have two squads of Pioneers here. This one could be upgraded to the 5-man squad. Against all the AT guns he's been facing against, Panzer Warfare could be quite good. It looks like the Panther will be spotted by the Guard squad. Look at the Pioneers and drop any models. The glider is under siege by the Oberstdotson. He is able to utilize a head to cover right there. And now we've got the Genwarfer engaging the glider directly. And there goes the forward reinforcements. Fragmentation bombs wipes out Vickers, I believe that was. Oh, we do got an OKW Panther out as well, so there's 2 Panthers now rolling about. So it looks like some healing coming out from the intersection onto the Royal Engineers. They're actually quite low. No 4 more forward reinforcements, but we do have still this squad of commandos here. It activates the hold fire state. But we'll go ahead and deactivate it.
A new infantry section is ready for battle.
Anti-grenade does get thrown on out, does snare the Panther. Panther seems to be dead. There goes that OKW Panther, but the Austrian Panther is still alive. We got a snare from Panzerfaust from the Grenadiers here. We got the Loiter coming in from the OKW player. ISU 152 super wounded. Rolls a miss there. Doesn't get the kill. Decides to blitz back forward. Nope. There's a lot of stuff here. He could sacrifice the Panther, but it's hard to say. Panzer Grenadiers may in fact go down to all these units. And here comes another Loiter, hitting the Firefly quite reasonably. And there goes the Firefly, and soon the ISU goes down as well. And there goes the ISU 152. The Allies have lost a significant amount of their forces, but most likely the Panther will be traded out now. Button has been thrown, so has an AT grenade. There's still some PTRS, and there goes the Panther. Is there any vehicles left out on the field? Oh, and now we got the Commando Regiment's strategic bombing coming on in. Holy crap. Okay, recap. We need to do a recap of what's alive. Soviet player has 2 conscripts, a penal, and a guard, and combat engineers, and an AT gun. Nothing else. So he has a good amount of infantry. The Brit has still his three infantry sections, a Piet squad, and a commando squad. So plenty of infantry. The OKW player has still a significant number of support weapons. 2 lights, though one is the crude. But can still be easily recruited. 2 Vulkanwerfer, and now a fresh Panzer IV, as well as some infantry. So the OKW player is still in a good position. Though the Obersoldaten are super wounded right now, they need a withdrawal. The Austrian player still has all of his infantry, as well as now deploying out a Brumbar. So overall, the Axis players are in a better position, I would say. They have the Panzer IV and Brumbar. We do got a Comet being built, as well as enough fuel for another ISU 152. Fresh Panzer IV is out and firing. Plenty of munitions ready for another sector assault. Could potentially get a lead 15, but he has 2 lights, so not so much. Or 1 and 1 easily recruit. Brumbar is a bit of an interesting option. My opinion, we saw the AT gun, so I would say the Panzerwerfer would be better. Both the other AT gun has been reinforced and appear to be repaired. Both AT guns are actually at full health, so a Panzerwerfer to me seems like a bit of a better option than the Brumbar. This barrage does get a nice hit right there. We do got 7-man squads coming out for the conscripts. And the Brumbar, however, is moving forward. So is the MG42. Oh, the Panzer Grenadiers need to fall back. We do got the Assault and Hold being activated. Uncommon ability to see. Brumbar now engaged. We do got a marked target on top of the Brumbar, which will take 4 shots rather than 5 shots to kill now. But there are 2 Grenadier squads here, decrewing and ripping apart the Zis guns. Oh, I heard something got erupted. The Comet tank actually went entirely down. And the Panzer IV hardly took any damage. And sorry I missed that part. But The Comet's now down, so the allies are not in a very good position. I thought the Comet tank would have been a perfect item against the Panzer IV and Brumbar, but it's dead. Two of the cannon warfare must have got some great hits. They're both retreating on back, they both are heavily vetted. So yeah, great cannon warfare positioning. Brumbar is wounded, still has a marked target on him. And the ISU-152 is now out on the field. Looks like the Brumbar is trying to focus fire and destroy the MG42. Is being unsuccessful, however.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Obstotson, 3 stars of efficiency, so it's becoming very, very lethal. And that was a dead Royal Engineer Squad. Didn't have any slot items, but still something you don't want to do. 6-pounder gets ripped apart thanks to the Obstotson, and as well as support by the Jaeger Light Infantry. Focus firing the death of that gun is also a good idea. Couple frags getting thrown out, one from each player. And Panzer Grenadiers are actually managing to hold the area. They're very low in health. And now the Grenadiers are now moving forward as well. Overall, I would say the Austerius player is a little bit blobby, but he is just keeping in 2 groups of 2. And if you include the Pioneers with repairs, 3 groups of 3, or 3 groups of 2. Ooh, great hit right there. No Dishka upgrade, but the Dishka, in my opinion, it's not super great. It's a not very important upgrade for the ISU-152 because it shoots at long range. Ooh, great hit by the Brumbar. But this is getting some good hits as well. Ooh, hits right there. Still can withstand 2 more and not die, but he does have 2 squads of Pioneers, so that's plenty of repairs. These sections are moving on forward once again. Looks like the ISU-152 may have got a penetrating hit on top of the Panzer IV. 34 out on the build queue. He's probably eyeing for the combination of RAM and then call in the IL-2. Oh, did that? Nope, that squad did not get wiped. I heard the blah. Panther on the build queue for the OKW player. A very good item indeed. What's the brick player getting? He managed to capture that light gun that we saw get decrewed. That's actually quite a nice little pickup. Ooh. Nope, that was not a lot of damage. So at this point, Comets don't exactly have the range as a Firefly. So I would say, honestly, a pair of Fireflies would be the best items for the British player, not necessarily the Comets. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of Comets. I prefer actually the Churchill and Firefly. Ooh, the Pioneer squads are forced on back.
We have 200 points remaining.
This gun, camouflage, no longer. Good hit right there. multiple good hits. We do got the fragmentation bombs being called on in, but we'll probably only decrease this one. Brimbar is in danger going down. Nice! Ooh, wipes out a penal guard squad there, but there goes the Brimbar. Sector Assault coming on in. We do got the Panzer IV and Panther moving on forward. Panzer IV needs prioritized fire on. Another bounce there. Now the Austere Panthers moving on forward, and there goes the ISU-152. No other vehicles are out in the field except for this T-34. Oh, got it snared injured thanks to the heavy Gammon Bomb. Oh, but the IL-2 missed. Or at least didn't get the kill. T-34 being hunted on down. May need to see a penal PRS on the squad. AT grenade trying to move on forward for a snare. Body blocks his own Panther tank. Not a good idea. Great hits from the Panzer IV, forcing back the squad. But now Pietz does come on the flank and wipes out the Panther tank. I would say largely good because not every day you see the Gammon bombs actually snaring the engine. Common tank needs a withdrawal. We're receiving too much damage from the Loiter. And there goes the Panzer IV. All of the OPW vehicles are now down. Good hit. Repairing up this gun, very nice. Let's do another recap of who has what. The Soviet player has been taking a beating this entire game, I would say. Only has one penal, one conscript squad left. He could call in a guard squad and save up his fuel for another ISU-152, or he should go for SU-85. Both are a possibility. British player has a common tank now out. Hopefully doesn't lose this one this quickly. And everything else, he has a pretty well-rounded roster, thanks to especially to the captured lag. The OKW player still has excellent infantry out in the field, does have two Kenwerfers, so he's not in a bad position, but he's lost quite a bit of number of vehicles now. And the Austere player has lost a Brumbar, has lost a Panther, has a fresh Panther, but still has a significant amount of infantry, so all the players are still on relatively equal footing. Enough munitions are approaching for another sector assault. The Austere player has a bit of a float of manpower. It could throw down a cache, ideally a munitions cache for both the players, though fuel wouldn't be half bad either. Well, the Panzer Grenadier squad needs to fall back. We're seeing too much fire. These vetted Soviet squads just ripping apart these squads. They're at mid-range, but with things like cover from the nearby landscape, these squads are just going to be able to out-damage these Panzer Grenadier squads, no problem.
MT-42 team is ready for action. Half-track has arrived.
And we do have a M5 half-track eyeing for the quad package in order to shoot down the aircraft. Something that was probably a little bit too late, but very necessary. VPs are still pretty similar, only a slight advantage to the Allies. A good spot for that quad half-track is somewhere in the open, so it doesn't get some line of sight blockers in between it and the aircraft. I would say right here would be the best spot for it. It appears that this squad is largely the officers of the conscript squad, so that has a pretty sizable defense team. We do got a second squad of Overslots now out on the field. Gamma Bomb does force back the Jaeger Light Infantry. Didn't get a whole lot of damage on them, or model drops, but did get really a large amount of damage. When the Overslots are at Vet Force our veterancy, you can disable the main gun of the common tank using the frangible smoke grenade. Auto grenade does get thrown on out and does pop forward rather than pop back into the grenade.
Enemy cluster infantry attacking.
More conscripts replenishing the lines. He's definitely setting up for fuel for an ISU 152. He needs to make sure it gets more AT focus rather than high explosive focus, because he's been having trouble with the vehicles, not necessarily the infantry. He's been having trouble with both, really.
Infantry shooting at us. Standing by.
Guns flare. That's all I could see with that repairability. Oh, there's actually a PTRS on one of these combat engineers. It looks like I got another sector assault here. The quad half track is way out of position in order to engage the aircraft. It takes over here. Ooh! Another slight problem with having anti-aircraft. Gravitation problems coming on in does decrew both of those weapon teams. Panther rushing on forward. We'll see an AT grenade. Falx does connect on the T-34 as well. Guys are being repaired up. Being healed and repaired. It looks like he will recapture the AT gun in middle combat, but was unsuccessful. And he actually lost the entire conscript squad, I believe.
The enemy is attacking our HQ.
Does force fire, the destruction of the gun. Do get the common tank now moving forward, but a little bit low in health. We do got the UKF heavy bombing run coming on in. And they may not just notice it just yet. This Panther tank is not in the center of the bombing run. The scatter bombs could wipe out the Pioneer squad. Oh!
Infantry squad has been killed.
Oh, I was not expecting the retreating squads to get wiped like that. Oh, he lost all of his infantry. That was brutal. 34 does go down, the Panther goes down, and I think the quad half-track also went down. An AT grenade does connect thanks to the nearby Royal Engineers. Common tank's not pushing on their way forward. They have plenty of health to engage the Panther squad, but there are two Bekenwerfer here. Austere Panzer 4, well, Panther's moving forward. There goes one of the common tanks. We could potentially see another snare. We do got a marked target. The AT grenade being rushed on forward. Has not enough munitions for an AT grenade, so it's actually a big time bluff or oversight. He does have enough munitions now for an AT grenade. He does cast it, does connect. A nice focus fire and decrews that MG42. Zis barrage coming from the Austere player gets a nice hit there. Next shot wipes out the conscript. Ooh. And does get decrewed in the end, but worth. Definitely worth. and probably good vengeance. 5-man squads being researched for these squads. I think that actually one of them only has enough, doesn't actually have it. The Austria player is not in a good position. Panzerwerfer would be a great item to support his units. Grabs another like. The UKF player now has 2 likes. Grabbed by the commandos, that one. Jaeger Infantry will capture up this northern VP. There's a triple cap in favor of the Axis players. The VPs are in favor of the Allies at the moment. And one of the Pioneers also went down. Oh, the Austria player is losing a huge number of items. What does the OKW player has? The OKW player has a well-rounded composition. The Austria player needs time to recover. The Soviet player doesn't have a huge composition either, but still has the ISU 152. The UKF player has a well-rounded composition. Thanks to also being more well-rounded than the 2 likes. The likes usefulness, I would say, has largely passed, but still be quite nice to have. Keep them in more aggressive positions, attack, move them across various parts of the maps. And there's a combat engineers are forced back once again. Force firing through the hedge. Those roll balance right there, giving time for the combat tank to re-engage. Looks like the ISU 152 does get a nice hit there. AT grenade does connect. There is a snare here, as well as another Panther tank. But the Austria Panther needs to fall back. We do got the Sector Assault coming in, but I think that's a little bit premature. Nothing really going to wipe it out. We do got multiple snares here. We do got the AT Satchel, but has not been cast. Now being target cast. The Piet squad needs to get a snare, gets the needed Piets to fire. Does body block it with the ISU 152. Great hit right there. ISU 152 will actually survive. That was a waste of the Austria Panther. And the combat tank's actually drawing fire from the airstrikes. So the ISU 152 will not go down unless it's sort of dive upon the OKW Panther. Austria player needs to cool down and rebuild. He's lost a huge amount of infantry, even lost all the Grenadier squad in all of those engagements. Ammo bomb or regular frag does get thrown. True Pioneers need to fall back. They're super wounded. They don't have any passive healing, right? Yeah, they don't have any passive healing. So they need to fall back and get some healing. Oh, that was deadly. I was going to say the OKW player has 100, well, 1,000, maybe 5,500 manpower. So he could get some more items on the field. He has plenty of population room, so perhaps some MG-34s to just spread across the land to tie up his opponent. Comm tank now receiving fire from the Panther, but there is a squad of Piets here. The Obsolets, and that's 5 stars of veterancy, a sneeze away from death. And were they affected by white phosphorus or something? White phosphorus run has not been used, so I'm not sure what. It seems like they were receiving damage over time.
Ready to go.
Another comet has been called on in.
Pay attention. You'll find it very bracing up there.
We got another OKW Panther on the build queue. The Austrian player is getting his own Panther as well. Some bad pathing is going to help hurt this Panther tank. Luckily, he has plenty of health and Storm Pioneers nearby.
Ready to provide support.
So there's going to be 3 Panthers out versus 2 Comets and ISU-152. Another quad half-track is being researched. I would say move a bit forward would be great. Ooh, white phosphorus round. Very nice. What's the cooldown on the white phosphorus round? Oh, the white phosphorus round does have pretty quick cooldown. And the Panther tank's getting overwhelmed by the Comet tanks. Does blitz on out of there. Does receive another hit, but does not go down. The reason why I was talking about the cooldown on the white phosphorus round, because it makes sense with how low health that Obsidian was, and just felt like it had white on the influence of white phosphorus. Ooh, the dual Wags, ripping apart the Grenadiers. Don't think I've ever really said that before. Our grenade does get thrown out on top of the Wags, does decrew one of them. .342 does get some nice suppression. While the ISU-152 wants to say no. A shot from the ISU-152 could decrew it. Nope, only hits the gunner. Oh, good hit there by the Zis. They just got done repairing it and immediately they have to continue repairing it. The VPs, they're in favor of the Allies at the moment, and they do have both players are just getting quite low in VP count, honestly. A little over 100 and a little less than 100. This unvetted infantry is starting to make their advance. We'll have trouble versus some of the also single squad unvetted conscripts. Luckily, Lancaster Law says, I have a lot of firepower, I can push you off quickly, preventing damage. And this MG42 receiving a significant amount of firepower once again. Rifle grenade does get thrown on out. Panther receiving marked target, needs to fall back, receiving multiple AT gun hits. We do got a fragmentation bomb being called on in. Does not properly hit the Zis gun. Looks like one of the Grenadier squads does in fact go down. MG42 set on up, but apparently there's actually 2 MG42s. And one's Vickers. Nope, they're both MG42s. Ooh. And we also got a Stug on the build queue. Realizing he needs more anti-tank. We got 2 Panthers still alive. This Panther is engaging the Comet tank, which has its main gun destroyed. AP rounds being loaded. Does actually roll a bounce. I'm sort of surprised I think it actually roll a bounce like that against Panther. Both Panthers move on forward. The Cannon Roofer does get a nice hit as well. This gun covering the retreat of the ISU-152. Comet tank still not fully repaired. Main gun destroyed, meaning they have full health in order to get that removed, I believe. Maybe with 75%. White Phosphorus does connect with the Cannon Roofer, forcing it back. shrapnel grenade does get thrown on out. Gets a nice hit. Smoke grenade, that's just a regular smoke, not a white phosphorus. Oh, sounds like the Panther's not fully repaired. Comet's fully repaired. ISU's fully repaired. We do got a Brumbar on the build queue. Got another smoke.
Comet tank ready and waiting.
Or those are just regular shots.
Enemy armor trying to kill us.
Good hits on top of the Comet tank.
Down only to 50 points.
Drone Pioneers rushing on forward. There's a triple capture in favor of the Axis players, but this Panther is getting super wounded, needs a blitz on out. That's his only chance of living. Drone Pioneer super wounded. Does fall back in time. There goes the Panther, gets abandoned.
A medium tank was destroyed.
Multiple Piats here, which can ward away the Panther, no problem. It gets counted down rapidly for the Axis players. There goes the Panther tank. The other Comet tank super wounded now. He needs to fall back. We do got this Jaeger Light Infantry. This Panther's moving forward. Does roll a bounce. Good hits still coming out, but the Comet tanks will escape, but the point is still being captured. The Cannon Warfare could move forward. There needs to be another point captured for the Allied players, but doesn't appear to be. There's some S-Lines over here. This point is being secured up by the HMG. ISU 152 needs to work quickly, and then intersection needs to get unsuppressed. He may need to use the concrete piercing round in order to get a better shot, more precise shot. Brumbar moving on forward, which can easily deny the infantry. The MG42 just needs to stay on the point. And I think that the tickets are far gone. Forget about for dive bombs on the point as well. Brumbar moving on forward, and now there's only 2 tickets left. There's no possibility of a decapture. And there is the GG.